welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Frey, and here on Heavenly Terp we dive into topics regarding OnlyFans, cannabis, festivals, and so much more. But today we're going to be diving into OnlyFans camera angles and my top tips for making content and how to do that in a good way that is appeasing and pleasing to your audience. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell if you want to be notified every time I post. But for today, we're just going to be diving into camera angles. So let's go ahead and get on into it because there's a lot to cover. So first of all, sorry about all of this. I'm trying to keep as much clothing on as possible so that way this video doesn't get taken down, because I will be showing you the camera angles and trying to model them for you. For today, we're going to be going over camera angles and my top tips, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to OnlyFans content creation, they overthink it and they think they have to have all this big expensive equipment, and that's not necessarily necessary. So I'm just going to go over like a few things that will help you get quality content without needing to spend a bunch of money. So the first thing is a ring light, and I'm going to add a little pan view of my ring light here. But it's a ring light and a some kind of stand or phone tripod. Not every ring light comes with a phone clip tripod on it, so you want to make sure that you're getting one that has that available, or just get a separate one. The next thing would be colored lighting. Any sort of colored lighting. This could be LED strips. I have this little circle light here, and I also have LED strips. It just depends on whatever you like specifically for your content and your vibe. The next would be a stage light. Now this is really only necessary once you get into wanting to curate more professional looking photos. Natural lighting is really good for pretty much all content. You want to make sure that natural lighting is somewhere in your content, if not regularly, the majority of the time, because regular natural lighting will help show the fans, like your fans, your true body and your true blemishes and your true skin tone. And honestly, they love the stretch marks. They love all of it. They want to see those things. So natural lighting is just a really great way of being able to bring that in. So being by a window is honestly your best bet. Depending on where that window is, I would recommend getting some protection film, some privacy film. I'll add a pan shot of the privacy film I have in my bathroom window, but I got it off Amazon. I think it was like $15 for the roll, but it was, you just like measure your windows and then you pick the size that you need. But it's a really good option to be able to have that natural light come in without necessarily flashing anyone that's walking around. So natural lighting is a good thing. Backgrounds, I have my notes right here, sorry. Backgrounds are a very good thing to obtain, again, whenever you're going to be going and getting your stage lighting. Also get a backdrop. That's what I have behind me. I didn't drop it down for this video for the purpose of trying to show you that I have one, because you can't tell whenever it's down. Yeah, so stage lighting and backgrounds are really only necessary whenever you are going into that like professional kind of vibe, when you're trying to get more professional looking photos. Those are great, and they're all also, background is also great for all photos and videos in general, even TikTok videos. A lot of TikTokers have them just to have like a nice clean background. I personally like the aesthetic of the walls in my room where I have all of my rave stuff hanging up. That is the background that I personally enjoy for the majority of my videos. I am just currently in the process of, I just got a bed frame, so I'm currently in the process of reorganizing all of that, so that's why I'm out here in the studio today. So sorry for any echo. The next thing I would say for equipment, and again I'll add pan shots here, is a GoPro and GoPro straps. Now this isn't necessarily going to be beneficial for everybody. I mainly use the GoPro and GoPro straps for outdoor content. However, we have used it for indoor content and it does work pretty nicely. You just have to fiddle with the camera settings in order to like make it look okay because you're filming indoors with an outdoor sports camera. But a GoPro and GoPro straps are very beneficial and helps free up hands and just kind of makes it all a seamless effort and a little bit easier to get into the mood and ignore the camera, and you don't have to stop as much to fix camera angles and stuff. So it's a lot easier to just get the GoPro and figure out the camera settings, but they're expensive, so it's completely up to you. And that's pretty much it for equipment. So it's just like basic lighting and, you know, having your phone available. So like basic lighting is super important. I feel like a lot of people think that they have to have a super expensive phone and then they go spend a bunch of money on a super expensive phone and then their photos don't turn out the way that they want them to. And it's because the lighting is bad. Like warm lighting does not look good on any film. No film. It doesn't look good. It causes a lot of noise within the photo or video itself, like the static, and that is very distracting and makes the quality look worse. So you want to make sure you're always using cool tone or like white lighting. You want to kind of think of a studio. If you're in a studio, you typically don't see warm lighting unless they're going for a low exposure shot. And even then, you have to have a pretty good camera to pick that up without noise. I have a 200 megapixel camera on my Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and I still don't use warm lighting because it's just not good enough. If you're going to want to use a lot of warm lighting, get a DSLR camera. That's going to be your best bet. But other than that, your phone can take really good photos. Make sure you're using the back camera as well. A lot of the times people are trying to do it with the front camera and they wonder like why it's not turning out great. Use your back camera and just kind of like take some test photos to make sure you got the angle good, you know, like to make sure you have the angle in the spot that you want it. But it's really important that you use your back camera because it's going to give you the best quality. And that's where like a lot of us say that it takes a lot more time than just snapping a quick couple photos, because you have to take some test photos sometimes to make sure that the angle is good. You have to make sure that the lighting is good. Setting up everything can be a little bit difficult. Backgrounds are extremely important no matter whether you have a backdrop or if you're just setting up a background for a photo shoot. You want to make sure your background is clean. You don't have a lot of like clothing everywhere. That was one of my biggest mistakes when I first started, was I was trying to give off like the homie girlfriend vibe, and now I'm a homie wife vibe, you know? But my house is clean, and prior, I would not pick up the clothes off my floor before taking some photos, and it just takes away from the mood. It's not necessarily that it makes you gross or unclean or nasty or anything like that. It just takes away from the mood. If you have a nice, clean, organized background, it's gonna make your videos and photos look more put together. You don't wanna have like cups and, you know, things everywhere. One cup is probably fine because, you know, everyone has to drink, you know, hydrate. But I wouldn't say necessarily if you're doing your content in your bedroom, don't have it look like you live in your bedroom. Have it look like no one lives in there and it's set up nice and, you know, pristine. My room is set up a little bit different because I have my rave stuff on my wall, but the bed portion where I'm actually filming that kind of content is very organized and stays very clean. I wash the sheets once a week, if not twice a week, because we have to rub coconut oil all over my dog because he has allergies and dry skin, and that coconut oil gets on my bed sheets. And if you've ever put coconut oil on your bed sheets, it does not come off until you clean it, like put it through the wash. Like it will stain. So it'll look like a wet spot, even though it's not wet. It's gross. It's not gross, it's coconut oil, but it's gross to me. So I wash my sheets quite often. So you just make sure that you have your area clean. Like a clean background and an organized background is super important. Lighting is super important once you have that clean, organized background. And then getting your phone camera angles perfect, which is what we're going to go over next, is the angles, and then we'll go over editing, like my top 4 apps that I use, because I use 4 different apps for editing, but we'll go over that at the end. But as far as equipment goes, just get a ring light, a tripod, and something for a background. So whether that be something like this, or whether it just be like some blankets, or organizing your bedroom in a way that looks like pleasing to the eye. Same thing with your bathroom, or just anywhere you're filming content. Those are going to be your top 3 beneficial ways of getting quality content without spending a bunch of money. You don't need this big fancy camera. You don't need big studio lights. You don't need all of that to get quality content. It does help, but you don't need it to get quality content. You can get quality content with just a ring light in your phone, as long as you're putting effort into where you're doing your content, how you're doing your content, and making sure that you're putting your personality into it. At the end of the day, showing your true self and showing that you're having fun is all anyone wants to see. So at the end of the day, just make sure you're having fun with it. Don't overthink it, but also make sure that you're like taking care of the things that are important to making quality content, like lighting in the background. So moving on to angles, because that was a lot to digest. But moving on to angles, I'm gonna give you 9 angles total, like 9 poses total, I guess. But I'm going to give them to you in 3 different sections. So it's going to be sitting, standing, and a mirror. Oh, it's my sprinklers. I'm like, what is that? I saw something coming at my window. Okay, so for sitting, you can see the floor a little bit better. So when you're sitting, doing your sitting angles, right? You want to make sure that your legs and your body is kind of angled to where you can see that, right? But you don't want to be able to show all of it. So this is a really good angle to do for your Instagram, or for like teaser photos and some nice lingerie, or your Twitter, Reddit, whatever. You want to make sure that your feet are together. You're making a triangle, and you want to make sure you're arching your back. So I'm going to show you from this angle. Arch your back. Arch your back. You don't want to sit like this. You want to arch your back. That will make your booty look great, and it will make your chest pop out more. So when you're doing this angle, you want to make sure that when you're arching, you're not arching too much, because you don't want it to be too dramatic and too obvious, but you just want to arch just a little bit. Just give it a nice little arch. So this is the first angle. It's really nice. You can put your arms back. You can kind of lean your hands forward. You can put your arms up. It's really versatile, but it's a great starting position to start getting a good angle on the ground. And you can see the line in your hips. It looks nice when you're in a nice outfit. Okay, the next seated position that's always going to be a showstopper is this one right here. Boom. just like this. I know it seems super simple, super easy, but it does get difficult because you want to point your toes to make sure, I'm wearing socks because no free toes. You want to point your toes and make sure that that angle is nice. So you can go up like that and really like pop this out. You want to, instead of sucking in, you want to pop it out and do that and show this off, right? Make sure this toe is pointed so that way this angle is nice and straight, or else it's gonna look like that and it doesn't look cute. You want to point your toe, make sure you're up on your toe. Put this arm up here, on your boobie, on the floor, wherever you want it, right there. Put this arm wherever you feel great. But having the legs open is a very versatile way to get a really nice sitting leg photo and angle that you can get a lot of good juicy stuff without necessarily having to put in a bunch of effort sitting down. All right, so those are my first two sitting positions. My last sitting position or pose or angle or whatever you want to call it, I've called it so many things in this video, I'm so sorry. My third sitting position would definitely be one from the side angle where you are completely up on your knees. So you want to make sure you're up on your knees like this. So it's very similar to the first angle, because instead of having it open, you're going to have everything closed, tucked in, and open. Now, this looks really cute from the front as well because it shows off this, but I really love it from the side. Personally, because I've got a big volucious back here, all right? And if you have a nice piece of cake, this angle shows it off so fucking well. And even if you don't have a nice piece of cake, this angle makes you look like you have a nice piece of cake. You want to make sure you really keep your legs closed, really suck in, and arch back. That's a really nice angle. And again, just like the first one, you can put your arm back, you can put your arms here. But again, if you're putting your arms here, you're hiding this line, which people love to see. So you want to make sure if you're putting your arms, you want to like cross them, put them forward, put them back here, like that, up here. I love this angle for this kind of pose. Shows off the body hair, shows off the boobs, shows off that down there. It shows off it all. This angle is really nice, and it is also a very easy one. I'm trying to show angles that are good for people. I'm disabled. I don't look disabled, but I am disabled, and I also suffer from chronic pain from a back injury when I was wrestling in high school. So I'm not gonna list out my whole fucking medical history, I don't need to, but I'm disabled, and so I'm trying to show angles that are going to be friendly for all body and ability types, and that you can kind of utilize in bed, on the floor, wherever is most comfortable for you, and ones that are also good for, and just in general, posing without needing to be doing OnlyFans content, but these are very good for OnlyFans content. So now I'm going to be moving on to standing, so I'm going to be right back. I'm going to change the camera angle, and we're going to move to standing, my top 3 standing angles. Okay, so now we're moving on to standing angles. So I have hair body shape, so definitely make sure that you find out what body shape you are, because that will also help with adjusting these poses to your body shape specifically. I have a pear body shape though, so what you're going to do is pop out your hip, cross the opposite leg, and just kind of feel like it's popping out of socket. This is an amazing pose from the front and the back. It curves the hips nicely. It shows the nice waist. You can push your chest out. You can hold it in. You can put your arms behind your back. Do cute little twists. It's very cute. It's very subtle. But a lot of people don't think pop out to one side. So pop out to one side. Do it on the other side as well. And make sure this leg is completely crossed. The other leg is going to be completely crossed over. It doesn't look as cute as a full body angle, but it looks really cute still standing like this. So that's angle number one. The second angle you want to do standing up is going to be a nice butt angle. So what you want to do is you want to take your feet. This foot, your left foot, is going to be pointing that way, right? Your back leg is going to be pointing that way. See? Now, you're going to take your chest and turn it this way. So you have this way, this way, this way. You're making angles here. Okay, I don't know what angles these are. My geometry teacher gave me the answers, so I wouldn't fail. Thank you, by the way. And then you're just going to cup your hands down here, and you're going to look back. This is really cute. You can pop this leg forward if you want. I don't like to because my body shape doesn't look good doing that. But some content creators I've seen pop their little leg, their little knee. It looks cute for them. Again, adjust these to your body type. But do this number. The closer you are to the camera, the cuter it looks. Obviously, portrait mode. This is a YouTube video, so it's not in portrait mode. It's a little bit harder to show you guys the angles, I'm sorry. But in portrait mode, looks really cute. Do that, okay? That's angle number 2 for standing. Last angle for standing, angle number 3, is gonna be one that a lot of people really love and want to recreate, but don't think about or understand how to do it. So I'm gonna show you. You're gonna point your toes inward. Okay, so if these were my toes, inward. Point your feet inward. Bend your knees a little bit. Lean forward. There you go, that's it. You can go to the side, to the other side. It makes all of this look really tiny. It makes all of this look really tiny, but it makes all of this look really nice and big. And make sure to arch your back. Bring your chest forward is what I'm saying. Bring your chest forward. And just kind of like lean forward a little bit. And you get cute little, This looks really cute from the back as well. So you do little cute back angles, you know. Spread if you need a spread. That's another great one. I'll give you a bonus one. Spread. Just lean forward a little bit and spread. It is a showstopper. I'm telling you, it's a showstopper. Just lean forward and spread. It looks great, okay? So those are my 3 standing angles. And now we're gonna go to the 3 mirror angles because a lot of us have full-length mirrors and don't know how to use them. And they are very similar to the sitting and standing angles, but knowing how to hold your camera is very essential. Okay, so a lot of us have a full-length mirror, but don't know where to put the camera in order to get good angles. Now again, this is in landscape mode, but in portrait mode, it'll look a little bit different. So you wanna make sure that you're, first of all, standing straight in front of the mirror, and then with your legs, put one in front of the other and pop that hip out like that. Make sure this leg doesn't go off like this or else it'll look weird. Keep that leg very straight, very much in front of the other leg, but make sure the hip is popped. Bring the camera up to your eye height and then point the camera down. And that looks really cute in portrait mode, again in portrait mode. Okay, so that's the first angle. Again, these are gonna be a little bit hard to hold for a long period of time. So make sure once you like get into it, you'll get into it quicker as the time goes on and as you get more used to it. But that's camera angle number 1. Going into camera angle number 2 for the mirror is going to be this baby right here. This baby is so nice. It's an easy little side angle and it gets the nice little butt. You can hip this way or you can hip this way. You can pop the leg out this way. So many versatile things you can do with the side angle. You just want to make sure that you're doing what looks good for your body shape. You can adjust it a little bit as you go. Make sure you're arching your back. You can look over your shoulder. Looking over your shoulder is a really nice addition. And again, your eye height and pointing down. Nice, good side angles. Always looks good. Getting this one where your whole leg is straight, that one looks really nice as well. Now, the last one for your mirror angle is going to be a sitting angle. And you want to make sure that for this one, sorry, hold on. There we go. Just a cute little sitting angle. And with this one, you can do cute little teaser photos where like all this is covered up, and then you can just woo, and it shows all that really quick and easy, just a quick little woo, and it shows it. So this angle is really nice if you're just trying to get quick, cute photos without having to do a lot of effort. Again, all of these angles are mainly for people who don't really want to put in a lot of effort, or who are beginners, or who are disabled, or who don't have the effort or energy to put into their content, but still want to provide quality content. These are great tips and angles in order to utilize in order to do so. Again, your eye height and pointing down is always going to be the best way to go, so that way you are getting your angles perfectly. No one likes to look at a double chin. So now let's move on to editing. Okay, so editing is where you really get to shine. It's where you get to put your twist, your personality, and your specific wants into your content. I left my notepad over there. So my top 4 apps that I use is I use InShot for my videos, and I am going to try to show little clips here of just like the main home screen of these apps. So I use InShot and CapCut for my videos, like my full-length videos, and for my YouTube videos, my teaser videos, all of that. Pretty much any video content I use InShot for, and CapCut sometimes. I don't use CapCut as often because I'm not very familiar with it, but I've been using InShot for the entire 3 years I've been doing OnlyFans, and it has been a pretty great tool so far. So InShot and CapCut, and then GIF Maker or GIF Maker. I don't know if it's GIF or GIF, my bad. Is it GIF like the peanut butter, or is it GIF? Someone tell me in the comments. But whatever it is, Maker, GIF Maker, that is really great to utilize to turn any video or photo into a GIF or GIF or whatever, in order to promote a small 1.5 second clip of a video or photo or whatever onto a platform. A lot of subreddits don't allow videos, and they only allow GIFs, whatever it is. I'm just gonna say GIF to make it easy for the video. But yeah, so basically that using GIFs is very good in order to promote your videos without showing a whole lot and without giving out a whole lot for free. And it also helps with just getting more content onto Reddit. Reddit is a wonderful platform to promote and market to, and I'll do a video on marketing probably this month or next month. But subreddits are extremely important to be posting in. The subreddits are so specific. Like you could be posting in hundreds a day and get tens of millions of followers and people seeing your content. Like just eyes on your content is important. So having GIFs is important in order to be able to put more content on subreddits in order to get more fans. Most of my fans come from Reddit. The next would be PixArt. PixArt is one that I use for photos. They have amazing editing software when it comes to like brushes and adding things into the background, and making it look actually a little professional and not like stickers being put on top of your photos. So PicsArt is definitely a great one to download. The only one that I pay for is InShot. I only pay for InShot. I pay $2.99 a month for that, and that's just to get rid of the watermark, and that's because I use it the most. So it's definitely well worth the $2.99 a month for me, and I do plan on moving to the annual subscription here at some point. But for now, I am just doing the $2.99 a month, and it is quite worth it for me personally. However, if you found an editing software that you like, that is cheaper or that is just better for you, by all means do that. It's just that was like a big thing when I first started, was I had no idea what editing softwares to use. So it took me a while to find these apps and to get comfortable enough with them to recommend them. So definitely check those out for editing your videos and your photos as well. Don't do too much editing on your photos. Most people don't like to feel like they are subscribing to an animated person. They want to feel like you're somewhat of a real person. So try not to over edit your photos because it can take away from the quality of the content as well. And make sure that you're shooting your content in the highest quality as well. Which again is just dependent on whatever camera or phone you're using. So look up specifically your phone on YouTube camera settings, and there are tech guys that do videos for you specifically to learn how to use your camera and get the best quality photos out of it, regardless of OnlyFans content or not. So do your research, because that's the only way you're going to be able to bring your content to the next level. If you're not constantly doing research, if you feel like, oh, I've got it all figured out, then you aren't going to grow and you're going to end up stagnant. So make sure that you are doing research outside of my videos. I do research. I'm constantly following other content creators in order to get content ideas, angle ideas, clothing ideas, all kinds of things. Like, you're not stealing from anyone if you credit them. And honestly, in this industry, everyone's kind of doing the same shit anyways. So you don't really have to credit anybody unless it's like their specific idea, or like their specific clothing brand or something. But yeah, that's all I've got for you as far as camera angles and tips. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know it's been a long, confusing video, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna try very hard to figure out this YouTube thing. I'm still new in figuring out how to make YouTube videos, but we'll get there. Thank you so much for your patience and for hanging out with me, and I hope you learned a little something that can help you grow in this industry, because this industry is overly saturated already, and everyone deserves to get a bag if that's what they wish, and to do it in a way that makes them feel comfortable and confident in their decision, to where they don't have any regrets in the future. So thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to drop them below in the comment section. I do check my YouTube notifications every single day, so I will be here to answer all of your questions, and I cannot wait to see you guys next week. Mwah! Get that bag. Love you so much. Bye.